his opponent from China, Zhang. Referee, players are ready. You may begin. Go back to place.
Ten-ball call shot game. Sosa from Korea versus Zhang from China. First set, first rack, Sosa to break. Sorry, Zhang to break.
And welcome everybody to the final day of the Indonesia International Open, all the way from Jakarta. We have now reached the final of the Women's Open, and what a spectacular matchup do we have here for you all to enjoy. Our next match is between Zhang Muyan from China. She's up against former World 10-ball runner-up So from Korea. My name is Tim de Ruyter, and with me in the booth is my good friend and colleague Mark White to go over all the action. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Tim. Well, yes, it's a sad day. It's the last day. It's always leaves a little bit of a lump in my throat. We've invested a lot of time and we've grown to have our favourites on the table, Tim. And then at the end of today, there's going to be a big void in my life. I don't know about in yours, but I don't know what I'm going to do with myself tomorrow. But I do know I'm going to sit here and enjoy this fantastic final. And we've still got a final to come, of course, as well. The mixed doubles semi-finals going on right now, guys. We will keep you up to date with all the latest scores on those also.
Yeah, so we are playing best out of 3 sets, races to 4, winner break, and we're playing 10 balls, so it's call shot. And the 3-fall rules. 3-fall is in effect. And a possible shootout is possible. Do you think we might have a shootout here, Mark?
Well, to be honest, I've not seen Jan play, to be honest. And we all know how SEOA plays, but that young lady there is just a little bit of a mystery to me, Tim. I've not commentated on her this week at all. So she must be playing pretty good because she's here in the final.
10 seconds.
Who knows, Tim? I mean, if somebody can find a bit of form, find a break, you know, they can easily, very, very capable of running a 4-rack set here. So it's going to be interesting. The break is going to be very big as always.
Yeah, very fair point. Now, pretty early mistake from Zhang, not hitting the rail on the safety, and the early ball in hand for Seo to get going a bit. Always nice ball in hand to get the first rack on the board, settle down a bit.
Yeah, a little bit surprised. Failure to hit a rail. Early nerves, maybe.
Well, I've mentioned this before. I have not seen Zhang play on this TV table before. So we've seen quite some players struggle on this table. I've said it a couple times this week, and I think it's a real thing. I think the table is playing quite difficult. I heard the humidity is quite high. The rails seem to play pretty nicely, but the slide of the cue ball is still a lot. So yeah, definitely we've seen some shocking things happen on the table. Maybe this was one of them. Good shot there from Seo. Nice draw back. Perfect angle on the 6. To move over to the center of the table again.
Silky smooth Seo doing what she does best. Beautiful cue action. Great shot routine. Very disciplined. Seems to have a very good temperament as well, Tim, doesn't she? Stays calm, relaxed.
Yeah, it doesn't really go wild either. How often have we seen players make a couple mistakes and go completely tilt. She doesn't do that. Well, gotta say, she looks quite ready to me. That was a flawless run out. So the opening rack goes to SEOA. 1-0. Turning up the heat from the beginning, showing Zhang that she's ready for the title.
Yeah, all important break coming next. Let me just keep you up to date, guys, with the other semi-finals going on at the moment. In the mixed pairs, we have Edward and Desi from Indonesia up against Philippines, Jeff De Luna and Cesca Centino, and Dennis Grabet and Pia Filler up against another. Well, it's got two Indonesian flags next to the match, but it's not actually. Sean Mark Malayan, of course, is from Philippines. Annabelle is from Indonesia. So there's your two semi-finals. No scoring those yet, but we will keep you up to date. How's the break, Tim?
Well, dry break and no future on the one. So we'll have to go over the tactical battle to get the first shot. Now I'm thinking maybe to push the 6 and the 7 together and leave a shot on the one. The other option is to push to the bottom right corner and leave distance. But it will be too easy to hide the cue ball behind all those balls. There's like, what is it, 7, 8 balls on the left side of the table. So to play the bottom side of the one ball here and bring the cue ball all the way down table is not extremely difficult, I would say.
Yeah, overcut it, if anything, slightly.
Yeah, the only danger is you might make the ball. Oh, she played it the other way around. A little bit surprised by her choice there. Has not left the one ball on, so basically she did survive the early stage, but now Zhang could get SEO in trouble.
Seconds.
Well, via about 4 kisses, she does get cover. We looked at one point where the one was going to stick its nose out, but it didn't. So just a rail first here. She's going 2 rails, Tim, I think, isn't she? 1 rail not on.
Yeah, the 1 railer blocked by the 2. Has to go minimum 2 rails. Gotta feel the slide of the table, especially the second rail.
How many times have we seen that this week, Tim? That second rail. Coming up short.
Well, it could be 2 things. I mean, if you consider the first rail might be going long with the new conditions.
Extension call.
And then it looks like the second rail makes it too short, but it might be already happening on the first rail. So it's difficult to say from the camera, but I know that it's quite humid there, but the rails, they don't seem too speedy. So based on that, I would say probably the first rail opened up too much, and then the second rail did not grab enough spin with still the newer conditions.
Extension ball.
Oh, she's got her on 1 foul here and won't want to get on 2, Tim. 3 foul rule, as you mentioned at the start. There's a 30-second shot clock as well, guys, with 1 extension of 30 seconds each per wrap, 60 seconds after the break, as always.
Yeah, nice hit there. Got some distance going. There is a cut for Yan on the 1 ball, but the shape on the 2 will be very tough. And it's not like an easy cut too. Like, it's definitely missable in combination with the shape.
10 seconds.
It's a nice safety off the left-hand side of the 1, isn't there here? Guaranteed a hook, really.
One corner.
Well, gotta be careful coming in to the 1 ball.
10 seconds.
Rather go 2 rails than straight into it 1. Because the 5 was blocking the 1 ball partially. She's hit it really well.
Well, it seems they're both getting the run of the ball at the moment, Tim. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, momentum, still not sure which side to pick. Usually, it picks the one side that comes up with a great shot. Someone that's going to play poor doesn't really get the momentum. I don't know who made those rules, but it seems to be like that at times.
The pool gods, of course. It's in the book. I've seen it. It's in the pool Bible, Tim. Another good contact, Tim. Oh, and look, another little roll.
The thing is, both of them now in a row, they've been playing some good safety shots, and Seo is kicking well at the ball. She's kicking with speeds to where something can happen, and it surely is happening.
10 seconds.
Well, it's not the worst. The 2 ball doesn't go. I have to say, it was a quite good hit, and there was a good chance to get it behind the 378. But then still, we're gonna see another safety on the 2 ball. Yeah, played into a big area. The 2 ball was most likely to get behind 3 balls, and the cue ball was most likely to land behind 3 balls. So to not get the 2 ball safe was almost never going to happen, I feel like.
It's a lovely wall of balls there, Tim, isn't it? But finally, it's produced a chance. 2 ball is on into the corner. 3 ball into the side. Good chance here, Tim, to double the lead to 2-0 in this opening set.
Yeah, she is queuing over the 8, though. Don't forget. At elevation, she has to stun follow the cue ball too. Difficult position. How well does she hit that ball? Wow. Great stroke. Nice and fluent. Now probably playing for the 4 on the same side.
Such a crisp, deliberate stroke, Tim, but at the same time, very smooth and soft. Kind of contradictory a little bit, but it's just that timing is just so perfect through the cue ball.
Yeah, she doesn't really play very soft shots in general, like the spinning shots. She don't play them so often. She's a little bit more on the firmer contact, but it's a firm indeed with a very soft stroke. It's quite a natural energy on the ball. Yeah, ideal on the 6. She's in prime shape now to double the lead. A little bit of traveling still from 8 to 9. You never know what happens there. But overall, gotta say she's looking very well so far. Off to a great start.
Always just a little bit difficult when the ball is so deep into the pocket to control the cue ball. Makes the cue ball do funny things. And she's just overdone this slightly, Tim. Still should be okay though.
Yeah, it does have the natural angle to float towards the 10, right? So in this case, just gotta handle the nerves a bit, if there are any. So Seo is going to double her lead here. Nice safety battle we've seen this rack. But in the end, it's the Korean who gets the first shot on the 2. Comes up with a nice and clean run out once again.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good all-round game, hasn't she, Tim? Her safety and kicking is very, very good. Certainly up there with the best in the women's game. That was the accidental shot on the 1 ball. There's the great shot on the 2. That really was such a good shot. Was in pinpoint position all the way through that rack until the last 9, but that proved no problem for her either. Looking good at 2-0, 1-1 in one of the other semi-finals. Edward and Desi against the Luna Centeno.
Legal break. Corner.
Well, does manage to make a couple balls on the break, Mark. But then again, well, she might have that difficult combination 3-9. It really was not as easy as it looked.
I think that was an unnecessary risk, to be honest, with a 2-0 lead. Don't see why she's taking shots like that on Tim. It was a safety option. You don't want to let your opponent get in and get comfortable on the table.
Yeah, could have possibly brought the cue ball 1 rail behind the 9, sending the 3 ball down table. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence. Feeling so good the last 2 runouts that she said, if I make 1 good combination, I might be able to get on the hill first. And Zhang just missed the bump on the 6. So she won't be running out here unless she can make a cross-cornered bank on the 5 ball. She has called it. I think it's quite close on the double kiss to make the 5. I mean, she can avoid the double kiss, but then she'll have to play for a double bank safety. Which she has played very nicely. Look at this. Perfect cover behind the 10. Still able to probably go real first, Seo, but gotta say, I do like Zhang's safety play so far. I can see why she's got so far in this tournament.
Yeah, she's just 21 years old, Zhang. She's got a pretty old head on her shoulders, Tim, safety-wise. Needs help from the 10 and the jaws. She got both. Wow. Close to being disastrous.
Yeah, those shots can be so tough at times too, these, because you're going to hit the 8. What are you really going to get on the 6?
I didn't even know she had the potting angle, Tim. Surprised me.
Yeah, just she had this kind of weird angle to where I was not even sure what she was going to get on the 6 ball, because it depends so much on how you skim off the 8.
10 seconds.
She did call the bank shot though, so she's trying to go a little bit more aggressive. And that could be a costly one, Mark.
Yeah, even slight angle on this 6, Tim, just to play a nice little soft stunt. Just to the right slightly with a cue ball. Leave herself on a 7.
I think she's landed perfect on the 7. It's slight little angle running to the bottom long rail, the right long rail in this view. Just slightly, so if she draws, she's always going to be fine on the 9. Oh, yeah, slightly off the long rail. And then now the draw to the 9 ball. The layout really wasn't too bad how she got it from Zhang. Just doesn't want to be on the rail, and I think she's played perfect speed. Looks to go on the hill in the first set. Just one more shot on the 9. Needs the perfect speed, though. It's going one rail straight over, top right spin.
How's that for you, Tim?
Well, I would take this all day long. I wish I could play that speed all day. Wow. Well, she's definitely tuned in with the table. You can see some great form. She does make it 3-0. So she's on the hill now in the first set. Not too many opportunities for Zhang to make a difference actually in this set. Perfect display from SEOA.
Yeah, maybe the young lady from China just pushed the boat out a little bit on the bank on the 6 that she attempted.
Well, I think everybody knows that feeling. You know, it's like you're down 2-0. You barely got to shoot any balls in. Like it mainly was just playing safe, kicking. So then at some point when you finally get somewhat of an opportunity, you feel like you want to turn the momentum around by playing something big. For example, that bank shot on the 6. I think we've all done that.
I'm with you on that.
Well, nice square break. No future on the 1 ball.
Now that referee, I've actually played him in China. Sorry, not in China, in India. He was one of the referees for the Indian Nationals when I was there back in 2024. And I had a little knockabout with him. I think he was a pretty good pool player as well, Tim. Not that he has to be to beat me, but of course I'm going to say that. I did lose to him. Very tall young man.
Oh, it's good to know. I will have to watch him. Next time I see him in a match, we're doing commentary, I just recognize him straight away. Or when I go to the pool room and I see him, I know who to shy away from.
I was just going to say, you need to know if he's going to try and hustle you or not. So remember that face.
1 corner.
Beautiful
what a-
shot.
I was going to say that was very nicely struck. This is a chance, though. Needs this rack at least. She does like to hit the ball firm, though. I've seen that. Not the very smooth kind of player. She has a nice firm stroke.
Gives us a chance to see what she's capable of now. Should be a nice open run out here, Tim.
Yeah, managing the angles nicely. Does have a nice angle on the 7 to cross over. Stun over for the 8. I think she's landed just fine. Can still slide the 8 over the short rail. Just maybe a hair of right spin, top right spin, but she's stunning or even drawing out.
Pause the time.
Not too sure. Referee saying pause the time there. Might have been something on the table, maybe a fly or at least something. But didn't really matter. She plays a pretty fast pace too, so I don't think she will threaten the shot clock as much. It's the Chinese.
Fourth rack to Zhang.
Zhang now pulling one back. Score 3-1. Is she able to make a comeback in this set?
That's a very interesting point. You just mentioning the pausing of the time there. It straight away brings back a memory of probably the most famous piece of shot clock misunderstanding we've ever seen. Moscone Cup, of course, Jeremy Jones. Jason Shaw had earlier on had what they thought was the cue ball clean, but it wasn't. It was actually a fly on the table. So any outside influence on the table, the shot clock must stop. But under Moscone rules, cleaning the cue ball at your own request, the shot clock doesn't stop. So that's where the confusion was.
Well, you could definitely use it as an advantage. If you use it for cleaning the cue ball, for example. So
Absolutely.
I understand why there's a difference. But at some moments, I have to say it's a little bit cruel to watch.
Tim, that's why whenever I go to a tournament to play, I always have a spare fly in my pocket.
You just put one of the plastic ones on the
Yeah,
rail and you should be fine, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, try break. So the first shot goes to SEO, who missed the safety there. I'm not sure whether she was trying to get the one behind the 4-10 or the extended version, the one behind the 7-2. But she's landed right in between. Yeah, she likes to play aggressive though, Mark. I mean, that was quite the cut and not really guaranteed shape on the 2. She still chose to go for gold, basically. I mean, any miss could cost her the set, but she's swinging at this 2 as well. But then she's hit it real firm. She needed softer speed.
If it goes to the top right, Tim, should be okay.
Well, it's a difficult shot though. If it goes to the bottom right corner in this view, then she will have to play jacked up, low left spin probably. Now the 6 is a little bit out of the corner, so the combination is slightly more awkward. Oh, she played a clever shot there. I'm glad to see that she's played the safety, because I don't think there was much future on potting the 3 ball.
3, corner.
Impressed with what I've seen so far, though, from the young lady from China.
10 seconds. Extension call. Foul. Ball in hand.
Yeah, I was trying to kick bank the 3 ball to the short rail. Pretty close try, just caught it slightly thin and the cue ball dropped straight into the side. So another chance for Zhang. Now, with playing the safety, she has pushed the 9 ball over just a little bit. So the 8, I don't think the 8 does go to the corner, or at least it's a little bit tighter now.
Well, it doesn't now, Tim. That's for sure. A little mistake there.
Yeah, no reason to get that close to the 8-9. It'll be interesting to see how she's going to solve the 8-9 from this position.
Yeah, now, Tim, is the time. Like that. What a shot.
Yeah, I kind of think she had in mind to leave the 6 over the corner. She never thought the 6 would move this way. Those are big shots to take on. She just keeps coming up with it. Look at this. Excellent cueing. Perfect on the 7 ball. I mean, a couple shots ago, I think most of the people would have said, she is not going to run out. This is laying too difficult with how the 8 and the 9 were laying. And then they were pushed in a worse position. And then now it just looks suddenly like she is going to run out. That would be a fantastic run out, actually. These are one of those runouts where afterwards you just start thinking by yourself, what did I just do? Like, what did just happen?
Yeah, and if you're sat in your chair watching it, Tim, it's even more painful, isn't it? And mystifying.
Yeah, in your chair, you're like, she's never supposed to run this out. This is ridiculous. That's the thought in the chair.
Well, now you know how Mika Immonen felt when he played that famous 8-ball match against Chris Melling probably the craziest run out you'll ever see on a pool table, watched by well over 10 million people on YouTube at the last visit. I watched it. I generally go and have a look at it just just occasionally, Tim, to make sure it did actually happen. I wasn't dreaming it.
Yeah, I mean, it still happens over time, so I wouldn't spend too much energy on it while being in the chair. But just sometimes you're just really so eager to get back to the table because for example, SEO is on the hill, so she's really waiting for that one opportunity. And then you see your opponent getting out of positions where there's so low percentage to get out from.
Legal break.
Oh, that can be a little bit frustrating, or it plays with your feelings a little bit.
Just watching that position, she played from 9 to 10 in that last rack. What a great shot that was as well. Force stunt off the rail, finished absolutely perfect on the 10. Push out called by SEOA.
Now there is a cut on the 1. No carom on the 5 ball. We've seen Zhang go quite aggressive so far. Is she going to take this on and get shape on the 2 to the right side? No. Then again, I like Zhang's style because it feels like whenever she goes aggressive, she doesn't really shy away from the shot. And on these kind of positions, she still feels, do I go aggressive or do I play the safe? And so far, she's not been making many mistakes doing that. Good choice to play the safe.
Yeah, shot selection, isn't it? Very, very good shot selection at the moment. And she's just got Sarah under the thumb, just a little bit now, under the cosh.
Yeah, slight bit of a roll. Shirley went for the distance, but has worked out nicely. And the 9 might be in the way of going over the right long rail. That's why she's going over the top short. Spinning into the 1. That's what she was trying to do. Trying to catch the 1 full and leave the cue ball behind the 7-4.
Overspun it slightly. I've never seen a logo patch worn up on the collar before. That's a first for me, Tim. I don't know about you.
Well, I think I've seen SEO do that before, right? I think she's the only one really that does it.
It's kind of her thing, maybe. She's got so many sponsors, she doesn't have room. Almost as many patches as Tony Chohan.
Three, one.
Yeah, then again, this rack really going into a safety battle, but what a kick shot that was. Look at a cue ball. That would be awful. Oh, well, excellent kick shot on the 3. Never really was going to get something on the 4. But if she had scratched there, then actually that would have been a tough roll. Tough one. Living on the edge, Mark.
Extension
Well, it
for
should be against the law to scratch off such a great hit like that. Caught the kick. Absolutely perfect on the 3.
Not too sure about that for a shot, Mark. If you think about it, was she trying to push the 9 and the 10 together and leave something awkward on the 4 because
4.
the
Corner.
9-10 is now straight?
Yeah, I don't think she just knew what to do there. I couldn't think of anything to do either. I thought that she may even go for it, Tim. It's kind of as good an option as any other she had, I thought. I know it was difficult, but so was the safety. She sold out anyway.
Yeah, so now the chance to close out the first set for SEO.
6. Corner.
Yeah, it's a miniature comeback from China, but Sarah has withstood it. And now great chance to gain the advantage in this final and the $18,000 first prize.
Oh, doesn't want to be on top. That cue ball just stopped right in time. If she was on top of the 9-10, that would make things very complicated. But now she just cues right by it. Stun left. Just got to be careful not to scratch in the side pocket. Once in a while, it does happen.
Yeah, I saw Kelly Fisher do that the other day.
10 more.
She's
Corner.
got exactly how she wanted to be on this as well, Tim, hasn't she? Right behind it. Just play a little draw shot now.
Well, just wondering, is there a slight angle still? Does she have to cut the ball to where the 9 is popping out more to the center? No, it was straight enough. Wow, that's going to be it for the first set, I feel like. She's in prime shape. No long distance. She did have a great speed overall this set. I gotta say, her speed control looked very good. And this 10 to get the first set on the board for SEO.
10 ball. 6 rack.
And there it goes. So I'm assuming Zhang is going for the timeout. And that means we're going to go for a little break as well. We'll be right back with set number 2.
Second set. First rack. Soft break.
Well, it looks like we don't have a timeout there. I actually thought I'd seen Zhang leave the arena, but apparently they both are ready to just keep going. So
Legal
no
break.
little break for Mark and I. Back to the action. First break. The first set was Zhang's, so that means SEO has the break in the second one. Shot on the one, a very long one, cue ball on the rail, and not really that much future on the two. And has played a very, very nice safety shot on the one.
1. Side.
We'll have to go, well, could go 2 rails or 3 rails. I think with the 2 rails, more good things could happen. 3 rails, you have to hit it so full in the face.
Oh, what a shot that was. 3 rails, caught it perfect. Unfortunately, Tim, well, fortunately, you could say, look at the 5 has just rolled up towards the 10. It's awkward. 4 and the 7 as well. We seem to have one amazing out. I think this would be even more amazing, don't you? If she gets out here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you got to be realistic. I mean, I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong. But when I'm in the chair and I look at my opponent trying to run out this kind of rack, I might start to smile a little bit.
Oh, wrong angle.
Force follow, 3 rails, open up the 4-7. Inside spin.
That's what I would play, but surely you wouldn't, Tim. And I wouldn't get anywhere near it, by the way. So just a safety.
Oh. Not too sure if the 9 ball blocks just the 4 a little bit. Yeah, it did block a slight bit there.
Let's give you some latest scores, guys, in the pairs semi-finals, which are going on right now. Cesca Centeno and Jeffrey DeLune have taken the first set and are 1 rack up in the second against Edward and Desi from Indonesia. Sean Mark Malayan from the Philippines and Annabella from Indonesia are 3-1 down in the first set to Dennis Grabe and Pia Filler. If things stay as they are now, we have a DeLuna Centeno and Grabe Filler final. I'm sure the Indonesians have got something to say about that. Still a long way to go in that, guys.
Oh. Yeah, I was just wondering, maybe if she could have played shape to the, well, near where the cue ball is now, but not being hooked, maybe the 5 does cut.
5. Corner.
But then the bump on the 6 she got put her behind the 9, and now she will have to jump this, make it,
Extension call.
and get shape on the 7. And cannot touch the 10 first.
Oh, my word. Oh, dear, oh, dear. A banger from Zhang. Brilliant.
Well, this is the same thing. If she now cuts the 7 ball in, or she might bank the 7 ball. Another couple of those shots where you say, no, this can't be. Yeah, she did go all in on the cut. This time turned out to be a safety though, so not too horrible actually for a result. But it's interesting to see how Zhang, every time when she goes all in on the shot, she puts her full stroke on it. Quite high speed, but she hits the ball very nice by doing so.
7. Corner.
Yeah, probably banking the 7 ball, 2 rails underneath the 10. The bank shot she did call just in case. I don't really think it's there.
It's
Oh,
there.
she proved me wrong. Wow. What a shot she's played there. And look at the cue ball too. If she had not made the 7, there was a big chance to have it behind the 8. What a shot that was. I thought it was full on the double kiss. Well,
10 seconds.
now I was wondering which shot is more difficult then, the bank on the 7 or jacked up stop the cue ball on the 8, because that was not an easy shot by any means. She's played it absolutely perfect. She definitely keeps going from where she stopped the first set mark. I mean, doesn't really look like she's playing any different.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Absolutely perfect on every single ball. Tremendous cueing. Exactly what we saw in the first set. Exactly, really, what we see from SEOA all the time, Tim. Really is turning into a class act, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a different perspective, SEO also has won, I believe it was the Las Vegas Open, probably a series event.
Second rack, so to break.
And as I
Yes,
mentioned,
it was,
world
yeah.
world runner-up in the World 10 Ball to Christina Tkac. So she's been really knocking on the door. And there is a reason why all those results are happening. It's because she's putting a lot of time in. And she plays every tournament where she goes. I feel like she's working very hard to get the result. If you look at on the table, she really looks like a hardworking lady.
You don't get that good and consistent without working hard off the table, do you? Outside the arenas, Tim, when you're putting the hours in, the long hours where no one's there watching, you're getting your own balls out, and it's tough, really, really tough. I was never a good practicer. I was a very good snooker player when I was young, 100 break man, but I just didn't enjoy practice, and I just didn't give it the dedication that I should have done. And as the saying goes, without hard work, talent means nothing.
Extension call.
That is indeed a very good point you made there. Now, do you see any options to solve the 4-7?
Only a good angle on the 3. Well, she does have a slight one, Tim. Whether she can force it enough up there, I'm not sure.
Oh, cue ball a little closer to the rail doesn't help either.
Wow, what a great shot that is.
Wow. She is really coming up with some amazing stuff in this match.
Ten seconds.
Yeah, it kind of is a weird feeling so far in this match. I really don't feel like Zhang is playing bad by any means, but she just, I think she's made one mistake, maybe 3-2 down last set. But overall, she really doesn't get to show as much in this match so far. I mean, SEO just is clearing up almost everything she even looks at.
I think there's a story of this final so far. SEOA is absolutely flawless, where there's just been a couple of little errors, one missed pot maybe, and positional wise from the Chinese. Hard to beat a player playing this well as SEO's playing right now. Dennis Grabet and Pia Filler have taken the opening set in their mixed doubles semi-final.
Interesting to see she has chosen to play the 8 in the bottom right. Oh, yeah. And it's always awkward queuing by that side pocket point. That is a big mistake. I was a little bit surprised. I thought the 8 might have went to the center pocket. Could this be a little bit of a turnaround in this match?
Corner.
Oh no.
Oh.
She was confident, Tim, that it wasn't going anywhere near.
Well, that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter what we think. It matters what she thinks, but she had me sweating there.
First real mistake then from the South Korean. Looked as if she couldn't miss.
Third rack.
Well, a lot of balls running into each other, but nothing going in. Quite open layout, actually. Just a matter of probably getting nicely from 1 to 2. And can you avoid a bump on the 10 going forward?
Question answered, Tim. Beautiful queuing again.
Yeah, it's also easier to reset. She just missed the 8 ball, of course, but it's easier to say, when you're playing well, it's easy to say, oh, well, I missed 1 shot maybe in 7-8 games. You know, who cares? Oh, I get the next opportunity. You know, it's easier to say that than when you've missed a couple already. You feel like you're struggling. And then you miss these kind of shots. That's where you start to question everything you're doing. I think right now she's so dialed in with the speed of the table that she feels that one mistake might not even hurt her that much.
I was trying to think, Tim, where I've seen Zhang play before, and I know I commentated on her during Hayball once. That's where I know her from. Recognise her style, and of course you can see she's got the waistcoat on. A lot of Hayball players, well, of course they have to wear waistcoats in Hayball, but a lot of them take that same dress wear to the pool table as well.
Well, that's probably where she gets the very firm stroke from. Likes to really pound the ball in at times. Not that common in pool. More common in Hayball.
Yeah. But this is 10 ball. It's the PBC Predator Indonesian International Open. And we want to give a check of 18,000 to the winner here today. And we can also give a trophy and a check for 30,000 to the winners of our Scotch doubles. Final is coming up at 5 p.m. local time. And at the moment, De Luna and Cesca Centeno looking very strong. A set up and 2-0 up.
Yeah, and another straight in 10 for Seo. Now, there could be a little trap for Seo thinking, oh man, I should have been 3-0 up instead of 2-1. Those are definitely not the thoughts you want to have at this point. Should be glad to be still 2-1 up and breaking.
That one ball was very sweet, avoiding the cannon on the 10 with a smooth, silky stroke. Really doesn't look like missing just that 1-8 ball that she missed, that you just mentioned, Tim, which cost her a rack. Apart from that, she's been flawless. Looks like the ladies have taken a timeout. I think Tim has as well. I'm going to do the same. See you very, very soon, guys, to the conclusion of this second set.
fourth rack, so to break.
And welcome back to the final of the Indonesia International Open. The women's event
Legal break.
is going on. This is the final. SEOA up 1 set and 2-1 up in the second set. Only looking for 2 more frames to win the title. Now on the other side, Zhang still a long way, but needs to win this set in order to get going to a deciding one. And this is Tim de Ruyter and Mark White in the booth for you to go over all the shots. Another push out, Mark.
Yeah, this is a must-win rack, I think, now for Zhang. Okay, she was 3-1 down in the first one, did come back to 3-2, but I think SEOA is playing so good right now. It's going to take something very, very special to beat up.
One.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to see a timeout mid-set. Usually the timeouts, they happen in between the sets. And just wondering, probably Zhang took a timeout because she realized that this rack is important and she tries to slow SEO down. If that's the case, we will have to see if SEO just keeps going like she did, or if the timeout, the 5 minutes, might have worked its toll on the arm.
SEOA was probably hitting balls on the practice table, Tim, during that 5 minutes, if we know
Yeah, difficult shot though. Was a little bit straight and had to force the angle towards the 2. But look at this, a little bonus. Full hook on the 1.
needs some help from the 9. Doesn't have it, Tim. Straight in, can hold for the 2. Another long straight in 2.
Yeah, just the shape from 2 to the 3 ball. I do believe the 7 ball does play pretty big, laying quite in between to cross over. So might have to leave the cue ball near the spot where the 1 ball is racked. This is probably the best she could have done. Nice stun over. Yeah, and then now everything is in the open. She could be playing herself on the hill.
A bit strong there, Tim. don't know what's going on inside her head, but she doesn't look the nervous type. She just looks like she's in the zone. Just keeps stroking the way she does. Well, if you look at her chalk, there's living proof that a round peg does go into a square hole. It's rather interesting. Haven't seen anyone else do that.
Well, 2 shots away from the hill. Yeah, awesome performance.
Side.
Coming back from the timeout, winning the safety battle, and just like she's never left the table, this 10 to arrive at the hill. And there it goes. So SEOA is now on the hill for the title.
Terrific performance, it really is. You'll struggle, Tim, to see better pool than this. I mean, it's just been almost faultless.
Yeah, she's 1 rack away from the top prize, $18,000. Runner-up will have to settle with a little bit over $10,000, which is still a nice paycheck.
5th rack, SEOA to break.
And so far, I would almost say that Zhang just, I think she might have to settle for a runner-up, because the way SEOA is playing, not too much you can do about it,
Legal break.
except for taking the opportunity when it comes, and this is one of them. Last call for Zhang. Needs to run out here. 7 ball is tricky though. Doesn't go, I believe, to any corner. Now just looking at ways to solve the 7 ball. Could go off the 4, bump the 7 and take more cut on the 5. But that cut is missable. Could also use a 6 to set up for a cross-side bank shot on the 7, on the brown 7. So there is an option. I think I like that the most. Oh. Not too sure why she did not play like an in-between stunt to the center of the table. But probably felt like the cue ball was going to curve with the slide of the table. So has to play safe. And look at the 5-6 now as well.
Side.
Going for the bank, Tim.
Well, excellent bank. Now facing a long 4 ball. 5 does go to the right center. So if she can kill the cue ball on the 4, she might still be on the run out. And honestly, I gave up on that a couple shots ago. So
Oh, well.
Ball in hand.
That's unfortunate. You see her just nodding there as if to say, yep, that's how it's going today. was a really good effort. Was just trying to flick the 5 away from the 6. Drew straight into the side, didn't she? So now the 7 is Seo's problem.
10 seconds.
Yeah, let's see. Could play for the bank on the 7. As you see from this angle, maybe the 7 still does go by the 10. But honestly, from this angle, I'm just not a big fan.
She can go into it, Tim, I think. I saw an angle there. Oh, no, she's not. So it must pass the 10.
Oh, she might be cheating the pocket a slight bit, sliding it over the long rail. Just gotta make sure, nice pocket speed. I mean, it might be super tight, but it might still go. It's difficult for us to see from this angle. I think it's carry, but yeah, used a little bit of the rail there. So now 3 balls in, she's got perfect shape on the 8 to set up for the 9 in the side. She is going back to the center of the table. A little bit surprised.
Just want to give you a quick score update. Jeffrey De Luna and Cesca Centennial are set up, but they're 3-2 down in the second set to Edward and Desi. So that one not over yet.
And there it is. She's perfect on the 10. This is for the title. Seo from Korea. Makes the 10 and is our Indonesia International Open champion. What a performance. Or did she? Did she? She thought it was only 3 sets. She thought it was a race with 3 sets. Can you imagine? She didn't even feel the nerves.
It was a bit like Amber Chen, wasn't it? Do you remember when she won the Canadian Open and she didn't know she'd won? It was the same kind of reaction, Tim.
Well, what a performance from this young lady. Another title under the belt. Also, of course, a great performance